Okay, so hear me out. Dude, our social media is completely run by the government. All of it. So hear me out. What we're seeing here is the board of directors of the Atlantic Council. I went over this yesterday. If you don't know what that is, I'll link the video so you can catch up. These are all of the board members, prominent executives of this Atlantic Council. And basically, their goal and what they are, they're a gigantic think tank comprised of some of the most prominent figures you can imagine, consolidated into one spot, which they call the Atlantic Council, headquartered in Washington, D.C. We're talking members of the CIA, talking members of the White House. We're talking a lot of the U.S. military influence. Let's go and break this down. We have Stephen Hadley, who is currently the National Security Advisor, or he was the National Security Advisor to George W. Bush. He currently sits on the board of the Central Intelligence Agency. He used to actually be the director of Central Intelligence for the CIA. As far as the Atlantic Council is concerned, he is the current executive vice chair of the Atlantic Council. Then we move on to Adrienne Arsht. Not only is she one of the largest donors to the Atlantic Council, but she's also on the White House as the U.S. Council of Foreign Affairs, and she's the current executive vice chair of the Atlantic Council. Now we have Frederick Kemp. He was the chief editor of Wall Street Journal for 30 years and is now the president and CEO of Atlantic Council. Interestingly enough, we have John F.W. Rogers, who is also an executive chair for the Atlantic Council and is also the executive vice president for, you guessed it, Goldman Sachs. Now, going back down here, we have James L. Jones, who is a four-star, highly decorated, highly awarded four-star military general, currently serves in the National Security Advisor, or I'm sorry, at one time was the National Security Advisor to Barack Obama. So it seems to me like since this was created in 2007, there's always been a National Security Advisor on the board of the Atlantic Council. Now, he's also a board director for the Atlantic Council, James L. Jones. So yeah, a lot of influence going on here so far. And of course, yesterday we talked about Jessica Ashew, who is currently policy development for Reddit. And Facebook is amongst the largest donor to think tank. The U.S. military is amongst the largest donor to think tank. This rabbit hole is just getting opened up. It's nuts. So you have corporations, you have military, you have financial. So think about this. Military, financial, and corporate concerns are the largest donors to the Atlantic Council. They have a lot to do with the Middle East, a lot to do with defense, lots to do with CIA, think tank, based out of Washington. They're controlling our social media. They have been for quite some time. They have think tanks. Literally, all these fuckers are retired. They do this for a living. So imagine having the resources they have and the time they have, and then getting all together in one group. They have, I mean, we can't even fathom the things they could come up with. So please be cautious. Please double check everything you hear, because we're under attack. Always have been. Always have been. Always have been. Jack to the tits, though, for today. Let's go!